Hi, hello everyone. Thank you for clicking on my channel. I'm Danny, and today I'm going to try my best to sell you on a book that I thoroughly enjoyed, and I hope maybe I will be able to persuade you by the end of this video. Today's book is All That's Left in the World by Eric J. Brown, and I'm going to start by saying that I'm someone who personally enjoys end of the world tropes. Now, this was pre what we all went through collectively like 2-3 years ago, and I think post the pandemic, everyone has been any content circling anything post-apocalyptic in a way is being handled with care as it should. All that being said, one of my favorite shows is The 100, and this show happens for anyone who's not really cultured in the show. It happens like post-apocalypse, like something wipes away like humanity, and it's a really good show, really amazing and interesting concept, and I really just enjoy seeing what could be of the world if something should happen, or if something had happened, 2 years ago, what would have happened and what would have progressed and how humanity would progress. So this book is written from two different point of views, like in first person. It follows Jamie, Jameson, and Andrew. Now, they're coming from two walks of life, right? So Andrew is someone on a mission. He has been living like in the wild for a while. He lost his family and everything, so he's been living on his own, but he knows someone or knows a family that's like across, this book takes place in the US, obviously. It's across the States, and he's trying to find his way to travel across. He's been hoarding as much equipment and food as he can. He's hunting if there's still any animals alive. Jamie, on the other hand, is living in like a hut that his mom left for him. It was just him and his mom, and interestingly enough, it was a case where his mom got what was going around, and she had to make a very tough decision to kind of let herself go so that her son can be safe and uninfected or whatever. So he's been living alone for quite some time, and these two people meet up, and I have to say, interjecting, that this book is very gay, and for that I love it. It's, trust me, I would really want to know what happens to the gays when there's like an end of the world scenario or whatever. Anyway, they end up meeting, and on first instance, it's like, okay, who are you? What's going on? So Andrew has like an accident or something. He steps in like a bear trap or something, so he's very injured. So he just stumbles across like the first shelter he can find, and Jameson is very careful to help him because like, I don't know if this is a trap, if this guy's going to kill me, if there are people outside trying to steal my food, because he's rationed his food, his canned food and whatever, right? So that happens, and that sparks something. And I love the contrast between the both of them, because Andrew is someone who's like very cultured in pop culture, and Jameson is so void of what could be happening with celebrities and the world. This was obviously pre, everything that happened, and he's just like very grounded in his life and just like nature and stuff. So it's like two different people meeting at the end of the world and trying to coexist together, even though that's the last thing they should probably try to do, and just like trying to survive. So they meet, and the plan is to take care of Andrew for one night and he can go on his way. But they spark conversation, they talk about like their favorite movies and stuff, and they reference like the Avengers, and thing gets going. Now, I want to start by saying I think of the end of the world, and I think of like a post-apocalypse or something, and I wonder, what are the odds that I have a house and I actually do accommodate someone? It's like, does it really get that lonely, and so solitude becomes so boring that you actually just might risk inviting someone to your home that might potentially kill you and take all your food and steal all your equipment and amenities and stuff? Like, how smart do you really have to be, or how dumb could you possibly be to welcome an uninvited guest really that just ends up on your doorstep? And like, what are the stakes? So progressing into this book, there are obviously other people who, like anyone else, they're looking for food, and they come across this hut as well, and it's just two people there and they have like a lot of food. So something happens and they try to steal food from these people, and across the that little time, Andrew, who's on a mission, like I said, he's looking for a family member. He's like, okay, I'm going to leave and I'm going to go ahead and do what I was doing. Thank you for taking care of me, yada yada. Yeah, Andrew leaves, and Jameson follows Andrew. And now I'm wondering again, if I have a house and I have my own place, if I just met you and like the stakes are so high because like there's a virus that's outside, supposedly, we don't know if it's gone, we don't know how you can catch it, whatever, right? Why am I leaving my house to follow you? But then again, the question I asked earlier, like, how boring can solitude get in this like dire situation that you just actually just risk it all? Because I wonder if people in that situation are like, you know what, everyone's dead already. Might as well just, go off, right? So, they go into the wilderness and they're traveling to this place and they stumble across like a lot of actually very realistic things. There's a particular place where they go across like a zoo, and obviously half of the zookeepers are probably just like doing their own thing and trying to survive, or probably dead, and like half of the cages are still closed, the animals are starving, and the animals who are like out of the cages, who are starving, any sort of like any thing alive, they want to eat it, right? So there's a very realistic scenario there. And like one thing that I really like raised my antenna was a place where they stumbled across a woman who is also surviving, and she takes them in for dinner. Again, why? But maybe I'm just being very standoffish, but like, why are you taking people in? It's like survival of the fittest. Anyway, she takes them in and they realize that like they're all looking for the same person who could probably provide solitude. I think it's like an army vet or something, and they tell this woman to follow them on the journey. And I'm thinking before like I finished the book, it's like, if she follows them, she's very stupid, because why are you leaving your place, your comfort, where you have food that can sustain you to whatever? But then again, like I said earlier, maybe it makes sense. Like, you've been here for a while, no answers, you don't know what's going on, you're alone, solitude is becoming very boring. And it's like, whatever, I'm just going to go, like, what can I lose anymore, right? So she didn't go with them. I'm not sure if she died. The book doesn't say so. I hope she did, because she was very smart. And they, the book just progresses. They're going on this journey, and the book, it's interesting all the way. It keeps you hooked, because from the beginning, it sets up everything that's going on, and you kind of really want to know who they're looking for, what they find, and right. And then they stumble upon something where they see like this very conservative group, like having like a campfire or something, and it's like, oh my gosh, finally some sort of civilization. And they find the civilization, they kind of go in, but things get weird, because before they met these people, right, they have their own like equipment, like guns, things for safety, knives, some food, canned beans, and canned like corn or something. And like when they get to the civilization, they have to submit all their weapons, and like they have to rationalize all the food they had and they've been doing on their own. And it's a bit weird. And now obviously, as it's been going on, their relationship has kind of been sprouting, and they kind of had the sense that like they can't really be gay in this particular environment. And it's like, end of the world, it's a conservative group, they've taken all your weapons, like you have nothing to defend yourself with, right? And there's a very weird scenario where they assign 2 separate rooms, and it's like, oh, but we want to sleep together, and like it raises eyebrows, so they know they're not safe there. They have to run away before shit goes left. And honestly, I'm going to stop there, because honestly, the book just like climaxes from there, and everything just goes left, and like all the stakes are just like on the table, and it's like every man for himself, and it's just really interesting and really good. I will say that I thoroughly enjoyed this book. This book does a good job at setting up the world in like the first couple minutes. You're like hooked, you know what's going on, you know everyone, and it doesn't really string you along for no for like an empty reward. Every chapter balances or raises the stakes, and it just keeps you very interested. The characters are very likable and unlikable when they need to be, because they make some very dumb decisions. Again, I'm just very skeptical, because I feel like once it's the end of the world and it's every man for himself, again, I just feel like there's some decisions you should not even like think twice in making, or some decisions you should even bother making. All that being said, this is a very well-grounded book. It's, quite an easy read, and it's quite quick to run through. It's very, the characters aren't so one-dimensional, but then they're not so complex, so it's very easy to just fly through. And to be very honest, when I finished this book, even till now, for quite some time, I did miss them. I kind of wanted to know what they were going through and like what was going on with them. So I throw this to you, All That's Left in the World, and I think you should give it a try. It's pretty quick, pretty enjoyable, pretty realistic. I feel like out of most things that I've consumed about like the end of the world, this is one thing where I'm like, this is exactly what would happen. Like, just imagine something has wiped half of civilization away. Everyone's trying to survive, and there's like people making deals, like guns for baked beans, or you go into like a CVS and it's no food, it's just like bleach or something, so you buy lots of bleach, and you kind of have to make a deal, like a lot of bleach for bread. But then you're wondering, why do they even want bleach? What they're using bleach for? It's so many realistic scenarios in this book, packed into one that's like, I completely understand. There's actually a very interesting sequence where they find a car on a bridge, and they get in the car hoping that the car's going to get them somewhere, and the car just like only moves for like the rest of the bridge before it's about to blow. It's really cool. I really enjoy it. And they find like a lot of food in the car, and they're wondering, did the owner of this car die? Is this a trap? Is it poisoned? What's going on? it's a pretty good book, and I'm going to stop talking before I like really say the whole book for you. So I recommend this book. And with all that being said, thank you for watching this video. I've been Dami. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe, like, and share to someone who maybe will like this book. You think if you don't like it, but someone else will share it to them. Leave a comment below if you've read it, or if you have any. Actually, I really want to read a lot more books about the end of the world, or like post-apocalyptic. So apocalyptic. So if you have any book recommendations, please let me know in the comments below. And till I talk about another book or books in another video, thank you so much for watching. I will talk to you next time. Bye bye.